Hello guys and welcome to a new episode of Patch Recap. This is going to be Patch Recap 5.16, and if you're new to Patch Recap, it's just me going over the patch. Really, I'm going to be like giving my opinion on the patch, and we're just going to recap the patch together. We got this super nice infographic made by Blues Ultra. You guys can follow him on Twitter at Blues Ultra. On Reddit, he's user Blues Ultra, and especially on Instagram, you guys should give him a big follow, Blues Ultra. He does a lot of cool infographics and stuff, and we have this cool cooperation. But let's get into patch recap. We're gonna go over all the changes, and I'll try and give my opinion on it. So the first change is gonna be Apollo. Apollo's gonna be seeing a buff this patch. Serenade, they're gonna increase the mesmerize duration. Before it was 0.7 to 2.3. Now it's 1.1 to 2.3. Basically, this means that the mesmerize is gonna have a bit of a more, like, it's gonna be more effective early game because you don't really want to put points into it too. And then the free, they're increasing movement speed. Before it was 5 to 25, now it's 15 to 25%. So they're just really buffing Apollo's early game. I think they want to try and make him this early game boxer again in Duo, which might make him a bit more relevant. I'm not really sure if this is the right buff for Apollo. I think his 2 and his 3 were fine. I think it's more that his ult is like really hard right now. Like it doesn't seem that good even after they put the knockback on it. It's a very underwhelming ult, specifically because teams and players have gotten so good to like dealing with split pushing, and you have upgraded teleport. There's a lot of guards that have global ults now that are in the meta. So I'm not sure if this is the right way. This will definitely help Apollo, and I do think that he needs a buff, so we'll see how it goes. Chuck also got buffed. So so in addition to allowing it, that's his passive, right? To allowing his next ability to cost 0 mana when for the stacks, whatever ability is fired to consume the stacks has its cooldown reduced by 2 seconds. So Chuck's passive was like super useless. Like, it was really hard to utilize. People didn't really play around it, and even if he did, it wasn't that good. So now he's getting a cooldown reduction, which means he's just going to be axing you all the time. I think this is going to be pretty annoying. I do think it's alright though, because Chuck is very underwhelming, like a very underwhelming character in my opinion. So we'll see. Chuck might come back because he's secretly broken. He is quite good, but he's just bad at the same time. So it's alright, they buffed him. Definitely good to buff the passive, I think. Poseidon got a bit of a quality of life at QL. They fixed an issue with Poseidon's 1, where they're moving deployable, which caused its collision height to be shorter than intended, and there was some bug already around it, so like they're gonna fix that bug as well. So now Poseidon is gonna be like unbanned and ranked, and then with the release of Kraken, before you would get knocked up to like different heights, depending on how many levels you had in the Kraken. So let's say you had 2 levels in the Kraken, before you'd knock them up to 325 units, like in the air or whatever. And that would like kind of mess up your one timing when you had it full level. So now it's just consistently 375 units, I assume it is. So Poseidon is getting quality of life, and then Son Wukong is also getting a buff. This is pretty big. The Magic Cuddle has won the slam. He got a damage increase bonus to minions and jungle camps. Before it was 25, now it's 30%. Master's Will has 2. They decreased the cooldown from 12 to 10 seconds, which is kind of crazy. And the 72 transformation, they increased the damage of Ox form. Before it was 50 to 210, now it's 70 to 210. So yeah, he's gonna do a lot of damage. I think Son Wukong support next patch. I'm gonna be playing it. It's gonna be great. So that's the guards that got buffed. Let's move on to the items. I think it's alright, by the way, that Wukong got buffed. He is a bit underwhelming in my opinion. Mystical Mail got buffed. It now just provides 20% crowd control reduction as an extra stat. Just got that thrown on there. I think it's okay because Mystical Mail is very expensive, and compared to a lot of the other physical items, it doesn't seem very cost effective. People don't really get it for the passive anymore. So this might make it come back to solo, but I mean, I guess the thing is that like laning is not so much more a thing in Smite, where you're just like trying to out-trade with Mystical Mail. Well, you kind of are, but not the same way as you were with Mystical Mail back in the days when warriors were just punching each other in the face. Rage is also getting buffed. They decreased the cost from 2,500 to 2,400. So now you can build more crit. They just want people to, like, there's always this weird balance between the crit build and the pen build when it comes to hunters. And right now I think the pen build is better. So they want to make the crit build a bit better. And they want to do that with like buffing one of the items that people don't build that often, which is actually Rage. So they're gonna make it a bit more affordable to get the early crit from Rage and try and stack that passive early on, which is, I think, is okay. Talisman of Energy is gonna get buffed as well, and that's just like a decreased cost with 100 gold, so now it costs 2,150 gold. This item is kind of good, man, and this is gonna make the item even better. I feel like there's just so many magical support items, I say this all the time, that is like super good and you kind of really want to build them. So I'm excited to see where this is gonna find its place with like Hard Ward, Pestilence. You have Genjis, like Shoguns, Kusari, Only Hunters. All these items is super great. So definitely gonna try and spread them out through your team so you can get as many of them as possible. New items. That's all the buffs in this patch. There is a new item. It's called Berserker Shield. This is basically it builds off the same item tree as Gladiator's tree. This is the basic attack version, where the other one is a ability based. This is a basic attack based item. So it costs 1700 gold, just like Gladiator Shield. It has 25 physical power, 15 physical protection, and 15% attack speed. And the passive, which is the big thing here, is hitting an enemy with a basic attack restores 1% of your health and mana. Basic attacks that hit all enemies in melee range restore 0.5 health and mana on every enemy after the first hit. So this is like Death Toll, but more expensive and slightly worse early game, because you gotta think about it. When you're gonna get this item realistically, like what people might do is they might rush it and then like back with TP, and they just have Berserker Shield, right? And then they're gonna try and smack the lane. But at that point, you're only gonna be sitting at like 600 health or something. So every time you hit something, you're only gonna regen 6 health and 6 mana. Sure, the mana regen is gonna be really good on Berserker Shield, but the health is not that overwhelming early game. When you get into late game and you're like a solo lane and you have 3k health and you're like healing 30 for every like basic attack, then it's really, really good. But it's more of a bridge item in my opinion, and either you're gonna have to rush it or you're gonna have to build it a bit later for like sustain. I can see it happen, but you also gotta remember that the AoE swings only do 0.5, so gods like Bellona and Osiris actually won't heal that much. It's not like old Death Toll by any means. I think old Death Toll was a lot better than this is. Obviously, like, this is better, but price and efficiency wise with like price. So I'm interested to see how it goes. This is either gonna be like super broken or just pretty average in my opinion. I haven't tested it out myself yet. We're gonna go on to nerfs. We might as well take the only item nerf first. Gem of Isolation. They just decreased the health from 250 to 200. And it's just because that they kind of decreased a lot of health items on the magical trees, and they kind of want to follow up with ice. So they're like, it's a bit too good in these cases. Nerfs. Agni got nerfed. There's been a lot of they got a lot of shit for this one, HyperX, because they actually only introduced the nerfs to Chernabog, Baron, Freya, and Nasha after the patch, because it was like, these cards are broken, please nerf. So Agni did just decrease the damage on Rainfire 160 to 300. It was it before, now it's 140 to 300, so he's doing less damage early game on his bombs, but he's doing the same late game. Actually, initially I think this nerf was a lot higher, but they kind of reverted it just so his bombs do less damage early now, but still the same damage early game, or late game, sorry. Unnecessary in my opinion. I guess Agni might be really good in like other modes and stuff, but in Conquest this is kind of gonna make him a bit worse, man. Like 20 damage is quite a bit at level 5, especially like 60 damage with 3 bombs, right? That's a really big nerf. Kind of interested to see like how that hits Agni. I don't think he's gonna be that good anymore. Another god, sorry, that got nerfed was a Puck. The Puck. They increased the cooldown on this one from 12 to 14 seconds, and then Corpse Explosion, they decreased the initial damage from 90 to 170, now it's 60 to 100. And this change was in update 5.13, but was not included in the update patch notes. So this is already in the game, but they just forgot to mention they're nerfing it. So the only real nerf is that his soul is getting a 10 second increased cooldown, and his on the church, his first ability is getting a 2 second increased, and then the Corpse Explosion just kind of feels good, man. Another god that finally got nerfed is Baron Samedi, his 2, which is really good, because this is like sprint on steroids, and now they made it not sprint on steroids. They did decrease the mana cost, so it costs 15 less mana now, but this ability no longer provides slow immunity, although it still cleanses slows on hit. So now it's not like sprint, but it cleanses the slow on hit. Okay, so it's slightly worse, definitely. And then the big thing is they reduced the movement speed buff. Before it went from 20 to 40, now it's just 25% at all ranks. So you're still gonna be wanting to max your 2 on Baron. Like, I didn't do that. I'm still sad about that. It's rough, man. Yesterday's video, in hindsight. But I think it's a really good change. I think Baron might just still be slightly too strong. We'll see, but this is definitely gonna hit him in one of his really good spots. Like, I think one of his big things is that Baron just has way too many unnecessary stats on all his abilities. Like, if you go into game, you need to fucking scroll to read what all his abilities does, because they just do so many different things. Like, there's an ability in Smite can't just do one thing anymore, you know? It needs to do like a million things. So I'm happy that they're making it a bit more simple, and they're making it also like a bit worse. Chernabog also got nerfed. Living Nightmare, they reduced the damage mitigation. Before it was 10 to 40%, now it's 10 to 30%, and then they decreased the max number of stacks from slow to 5 to 4. So you're gonna get slowed way less now, well, way less, but like one stack less, and you're decreasing the damage mitigation at level 20, which means that you won't just be able to, like, Chernabog won't just be able to like dive in and just face tank like way more damage than he should be able to face tank, and then just get out again. He's very strong, Chernabog. So this is definitely gonna help a lot, because one of the obnoxious things that I don't think people utilize this enough is just ulting, and they're just ulting down again for the slow when ganks are happening, because it gives you vision, it slows the enemy. It's really strong. It's like you can like utilize it like a Nuva ult, and you're playing Nuva ADC or something, like Nuva mid even. So yeah, they're definitely nerfing him in the right place though. Chernabog, this is ult. That's the super OP thing about him. So good stuff. Freya, they decreased the damage on Northern Lights of 1. Before it was 70 to 230, now it's 50 to 210. This is gonna hurt Freya's clear quite a bit early on, and I think that's fine. Freya's super strong. However, I think the biggest problem with Freya right now is how much mana she gets back when she toggles to melee stance. So I would like to see them hit that also. I'm not sure if this is gonna make Freya that much worse, because she's still gonna be able to clear super fast with her 2. She'll just need like one more basic attack. So I think they need to do something about the mana, because I still think Freya is very strong. And God bless, the last god we're going to talk about today. I always say she, I'm sorry, that's just a little joke here. Not really a joke, it's just that I forget. This ability no longer provides physical power per stack. And that's Nasha's passive. So now Nasha's passive is only going to give you 10% movement speed. And this is really going to hurt Nasha. Like, a lot. She's still going to be viable. Sure, definitely. But 10 power early game that's gonna hurt, especially in the support role. So we're still gonna see a lot of Nasha, but we're just gonna see Nasha at the same level before she got her new passive. So good, really good nerf. It's the right thing to nerf as well. I think she's not gonna be that underwhelming. She's still gonna be strong, definitely. Sorry, I just ate, so I'm getting a bit alright. Moving on to the content. You guys always want the content. You're like, EmilZy, you forgot the content this time. So, Chief Vulcan Bundle. What a sick skin that is. The animations suck though, so that's kind of sad. I'm sorry. I just think the animations look bad. Heatsink Pele. That was pretty cool. And then they did the Divine Dragon Bellona, which is like just the sickest skin. Like, that skin is so sick. You can summon a dragon, and she has like 3 super cool forms. I really like it. It's such a sick tier 5, man. I'm definitely getting it. The Titanium Cracker Shivalonki skin was pretty cool. They have Admiral Wukong. I didn't really like it. I thought it was okay, but like... And then the Midnight Raven Isis just looks sick. And yeah. Then I'm gonna go ahead to miscellaneous. New cosmetics of Tam 5th Anniversary Avatar, Moon and Stars Global Emote, Midnight Masquerade Loading Frame, Polynesian Pedestal, Polynesian Recall Skin, the Fall Loading Screen, Chef Vulcan Announcer Pack, and Jeff and Barracuda Announcer Pack! Also called the Sex Tank. Woohoo! I'm getting that and I'm playing with it, and it's gonna be great. The awesome chest, new additions to the awesome chest is the Star Spangled Night. And by the way, I don't know, it's to be announced how you're gonna get the Jeff and Bear announcer pack. It might just be gems, who knows? We'll see. And the news to the Fantasy Point store are Soldier of Fortune Ares, Chef Special Capri, the Lobster Capri, you guys should definitely get that, and Soul Sager Hades. There's been they just keep doing bug fixes, Hi-Res. It's really good. The game is really getting cleaned up right now, which I really like. A bunch of the guards, like especially someone like Morrigan, is getting quite a lot of fixes right now. And a fix that I called for. I wrote to Hi-Res, yo man, you can AA cancel if you cancel Athena's ult. And here it says, fixed an issue where Athena could activate and cancel her ult, warm up to basic attack faster. So I did something. I'm in the patch notes. I hope you guys enjoyed patch recap. If you have any feedback at all, constructive, leave it down here. Any comments? I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and press the bell. And until next time, everyone. Peace out.